The markets are absolutely crazy right now. Trillions of dollars wiped out from the market. I need to talk about the reason why. Why are we seeing gold crash? Why are we seeing silver crash? Bitcoin, obviously, and crypto in general is looking terrible, guys. I will talk you through everything that you need to know in this video. Make sure to stick around from the beginning until the end. I will also talk about what I see happening next here. As you know, guys, since we lost my orange line here at $88,000, I was telling Michael Saylor that he needs to stop holding up the Bitcoin price here and he needs to let it drop down to my next level of support here at 81,500. Now that that has happened, I'm going to go over what I think is going to happen next. So make sure to stick around from the beginning until the end of this video. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. So, guys, in yesterday's video, I talked about the market and Bitcoin being at a critical point because we had already lost the orange line here at $88,300, and then we had a weak pump towards the upside. This was not giving me any confidence in the short term for Bitcoin. I remained very cautious. And I said that this looks likely that it still wants to go down to my next level of support at 81,800. So the big drop that you saw yesterday, at the very least, it is still respecting my support levels here. So you can see we drop down. And from now, or at this moment, the bulls are trying to keep us above this point here. But there's massive amount of selling happening right now in Bitcoin and across the markets in general. Before we talk more about this, quick update also on Ethereum. Same thing for Ethereum, big red candle, and it found support right on the exact dollar of my support level here at 2,679. So this is very key that the support levels are still, even though we're seeing big drops, it is still being supported. And also, we are now at the same price point from the previous swing low here, which I thought that we were going to revisit because the short terms here, they were not looking very confident. And I still believe that we could see a big recovery towards the end of this year here. But there is some things I need to share with you here moving forward. So first, for traditional markets, they are also dumping. So that's also key here, that you're not only seeing Bitcoin dump, you're seeing the markets in general. All of the assets here are dumping. So you can see that the S&P 500, a big drop. You can see that gold had a huge drop and it's still looking like it wants to go down a little bit lower. So that's gold. If you look at silver, also a big red candle for silver. If you look at Bitcoin compared to gold, which I've been sharing with you here recently, we're still at the support level here. If we, and even this I think could be a good buying level, but if we come down any lower here, I think that a rotation from gold to Bitcoin makes complete sense here, because then it's going to be at a point in which really has been key since 2020, actually since 2017, where we topped out here and then you saw a big run. This was support on the way down. So that is very important. So let us talk about everything that's going on. Why have we been seeing these drops across the board? And more importantly, what can we expect moving forward? First, for metals, for everyone that have been joining my metals trading strategies recently, they are still at profit, which is absolutely mind-blowing, guys. So copper is still up 47%. You can see that palladium is still up 13%. Platinum is up like 1%. Silver is starting to get into a little bit of a loss here due to the massive pullback, and gold is still up. So yeah, gold and silver, these metals like copper, palladium, most metals here are holding up pretty well in regards to the trading strategies, at least, that are making more gains for every day that goes by. But yes, of course, this huge drop you saw in gold, it is also going to affect the general sentiment in the market. Now, if you told me 1 year ago that in 2026 we would have a lower dollar, lower interest rates, a new Fed chair, rapidly increasing global liquidity, further currency debasement, all-time highs in stocks, all-time high in metals, I would assume that Bitcoin would be at least $150,000. Either the market is mispricing or something has gone terribly wrong. Which one is it? Is it the market mispricing or is it something that has gone terribly wrong? Well, if we continue here, Saylor, and I've been saying this for months and months and months, The reason why we haven't already gone down to this point and even lower is because Michael Saylor has been holding up on his own shoulders. He's been holding up the markets while people have been dumping into his buy orders. And I've been saying, Michael Saylor, stop buying Bitcoin. Keep your USD because Bitcoin clearly wants to trend lower. And yes, I still believe in Bitcoin. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. But there's no reason, if massive whales wants to sell at $90,000, there's no reason to buy it like those huge stacks from those whales. Just let the price dump and then we form a bottom and then you can use all of that money to pump us back up. You get a lower entry price. I think the entry price now for Michael Saylor on average is like $76,000 or something like that, which means that, you know, he's getting closer to being in a loss on all of his positions in general. So that's not good. That's not good at all. And yeah, if he just stops buying Bitcoin at the top every time and just saves that money and buys it as it gets lower, that would be amazing. This is just my friendly advice, but who am I? So Saylor, maybe just for once, put a buy wall at support instead of top blasting into resistance. You have enough Bitcoin. It will be better for all of us if this thing doesn't go back to $50,000. And this is absolutely insane. Gold just posted its largest daily swing in market cap in history at $5.5 trillion. Now, just to put that into perspective, the market cap for Bitcoin, I think, is like $1.6 trillion or something. So a few market caps of Bitcoin was swinging here just with the gold price alone here, with the swing in one day. So this is absolutely absurd. And this comes as we're seeing a lot of key developments. The first thing is that Iran's president aircraft is on its way to Moscow on an unscheduled flight. Also, Israeli assessments are currently indicating that the United States, on the orders of President Trump, will launch a broad attack on Iran. And also Iran has been communicating that Iran must be prepared for state of war. This was Iranian vice president. So all of these things, guys, are causing uncertainty in the market. But yeah, this is just short term. And let's see when this actually happens. It has been like on the brink of happening for such a long time. Let's see if it finally happens, what effects this is going to have. But this is spooking the markets, to say the least. And there's another even bigger thing that I've been warning you about that is happening that I need to share with you. First, I just want to remind you that if you want to join my trading strategies, now you're able to get in at a crazy dip for metals, for Bitcoin, for crypto in general. If you want to do it, you have the link here to Pionex, sign up to Pionex, claim the bonuses, and then you have all of the links here to my main stack of coins that I'm using. And you also have a huge trading competition and metals bonus. So you have a lot of incredible bonuses. So now if you want to get in at a lower price, make sure to take advantage of that. Now I need to share with you this chart right here. And I said on October the 10th, we don't know exactly the full ramifications of October 10th, but it have been clearly obvious during the next few months after this that there was something that structurally broke for the crypto markets here on October the 10th. This was my fear, and I think that this is very clear right now. Because if you look at the S&P 500, you look at gold, you look at everything essentially, Bitcoin was going up here as you were seeing the debasement trade, you know, money printing, liquidity into the market. Bitcoin was going up together with the rest of the market. You can see it's very clearly, all of them are going up at the same time here. However, you can see that after October the 10th, this orange line has a deviation and it just trends down non-stop. This is what broke on October the 10th. It's bigger than most people actually believe. And I think that Binance has a huge part in this, and they should be definitely investigated for what actually happened here on October the 10th, because something clearly went very, very horribly. And also, you can see that the dumping from whales on Coinbase is reaching levels it hasn't seen essentially since ever. Since like 2024, we've seen the same kind of discount on Coinbase. So institutions are dumping Bitcoin right now. Also, one key thing that is happening that has a massive effect on the market is that Donald Trump says that he is announcing his next Fed chair tomorrow morning. So let's see who is going to announce. But he had some other statements. The odds of Kevin Warsh being announced at Trump's Fed pick to replace Powell actually spiked to 85% as Trump stated that it won't be too surprising and the person is known to everyone in the financial world. Additionally, what he said is the Fed chair contender Kevin Warsh has actually met with Donald Trump at the White House on Thursday, and Donald Trump is saying that he's going to announce it on Friday. So he also said, Donald Trump, a lot of people think that it is somebody that could have been there a few years ago. So make of this what you want, but the reason why markets are not reacting good to this is because actually Kevin Warsh is not that dovish. Like, he's actually not wanting, like, his theory is that inflation is being driven by money printing primarily, and that's why he wants to keep essentially the rates higher. But Donald Trump wants the rates to be lower. So he's not a good candidate for what Donald Trump actually has been communicating that he wants. Trump may have some issues if Kevin Warsh stands by his beliefs. Often considered a hawk on inflation, he has criticized the Fed's monetary policy, arguing that excessive government spending and money printing, rather than just fast growth, are the primary drivers of inflation. So he doesn't really want to print more money in the same way as the other Fed chairs would want to do. So this spooked the markets. So why is Donald Trump going to potentially pick this guy if everything that he's been communicating has been against what Donald Trump actually wants? Well, there's more to this, guys, and here is where the crime actually comes into play. So Ronald Lauder is maybe Trump's best friend and longtime business partner. So remember this, Ronald Lauder. Who is this guy? Well, Kevin Warsh is married to Jane Lauder, who is Ronald's daughter. So essentially, Kevin Warsh's wife's father is Donald Trump's best friend and longtime business partner. Let's look at this in more detail. Kevin Warsh's father-in-law, Ronald Lauder, is a close Trump ally who had convinced Trump to eye Greenland. Warsh may be more aligned with Trump this time versus market expectations. So maybe behind closed doors, Warsh and Donald Trump even though Warsh has been communicating something completely different publicly, maybe they are completely in line here. Or maybe Donald Trump is actually not going to be announced by Donald Trump. Maybe Donald Trump is just playing the entire market here, trying to put out all of these obvious things, making people believe that Kevin Warsh is going to be the pick. Because if you look at what happened on Polymarket, people made insane amounts of money here. The insiders made insane amounts of money actually betting on this. So it's hard to know who's going to be announced. Maybe even because of all of this backlash and the market reacting like they did here, maybe Donald Trump is actually going to back out and not announce Kevin Warsh because he's afraid of what the markets are going to do then. So all of these things we have to consider, and the Trumps are going to try to feel the market out here. He probably would have given himself more than a day, but Trump has made a far crazier pivot in the past. So now the market believes that essentially like 90%, 91% certainty, Kevin Warsh is going to be the pick. But Donald Trump has actually walked back on these kind of things in the past and completely changed his mind. So let's see, guys, what happens with all of this. It's very interesting, but just understand that all of these things are spooking the market right now. And this is the crime cycle theory. You buy the assets here on Polymarket, you load it all up, you announce things that makes the market believe that it's going to go this particular way, you close those, and then you take the bet on the other side, and then you announce the Fed chair being someone completely different than Kevin Warsh, which the market believed, and then the market pumps as a result of that. Something that is not pumping is the bags of the insider whale Garrett. He's down almost $100 million right now. So, wow, that is absolutely ridiculous, but that's what's happening. And guys, I still think that if you're going to hold for a prolonged period of time, let's say throughout the last day of this year, the last day of this year, I still think that Bitcoin is going to be one of the bigger opportunities if we can see the catch-up trade, which I believe we are going to see. Now, the other side of that coin is that Bitcoin is not going to actually catch up. It's just going to continue to trend down. In that case, we will have to just admit that Bitcoin is not a store of value. It's just a speculative trading asset. which we will have to realize by the end of this year. But we will see, guys, which one of these is going to be. I'm still leaning bullishly in terms of the long term being bullish for Bitcoin, but still, like I've been saying for the last few months, I'm still cautious on the short term. Even here, as we're going lower, I'm still a bit cautious. But like I said, if you're accumulating for the long term, if you're using my trading strategy, this could be a very good opportunity to get in if you intend on doing it for a longer period of time. So I hope that clears everything up, guys, what I believe is happening with the markets, the reason why we have been going down. And I hope that you're going to enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.